Mabrika! Welcome to a new episode of Let's Talk Taíno. I'm Priscilla Colon, co-founder and creative here at Casa Reito, where our mission is to promote the Taíno language and culture. Before we begin, I'd love you to take a moment to click on that notifications button and subscribe to our channel. It will help you stay informed about all the latest premieres that we have every week and allow us to reach more people like you who are interested in learning about the Taíno language and culture. Now, let's move on to today's episode. On today's episode, we're going to play 3 questions. This is a fun activity that teachers use to make sure that students have learned all of the new vocabulary items. Now, we've already seen all these items, so we're going to go right into the questions. Let's review the types of questions that you're going to get. Question 1 is usually very simple. It's a yes or no question. That means that the answer will be yes or no. Question 2 is an either-or question. That means that you'll get 2 choices usually, and you'll have to choose one or the other. Now, question 3 is a little bit harder because it is a personalized question. That means that you'll have to come up with your own personal response. Do you see how that works? So it starts with a very simple question, moving to a little bit harder, and then at the end you have to come up with your own answer. I think that's the fun part. So let's get started with the first example so you see how it works. We've seen these words before. Let's review them one more time. Yuca, ababaya, mangoliren, arepa, guayaba, arroz. Now let's ask the first question. This is going to be a yes or no question. Your question is, toca ima, is it food? Well, that is a super simple question. I think we know the answer. But let's take a look at our choices. Han han o di ua. Yes or no. What's the answer? Han han, yes. Of course, it's food. Toca ima. Now let's move on to question 2. Remember, this is either or, so you're going to have a choice to make. Question 2. Buk eka o di asa nahak? Do you eat or drink them? In this case, your choices are the verbs eka o di asa, eat or drink. Now think about whether you eka, eat, or asa, drink, the food in this state. What's the answer? Of course, eka, eat. You eat the food. Buk eka ima. Now we're at the last question, question 3. Remember, this is personalized, so you have to come up with your own response. Let's take a look at the question first. Haralu buk eka, which do you eat? So here's how you can create a personalized response. You can complete the phrase dak eka, I eat, and then fill in the blank with one of the food items. Let's go over the words one more time. Yuca, ababaya, mangoliren, arepa, guayaba, arroz. Now, I'm going to complete that phrase to give you an example of how you can fill in the blank. My personalized response is dak eka ababaya. I eat papaya. Now, what is your response? You'll need to answer in the comments below. Remember, you can complete the phrase dak eka, I eat, with one of the food items on the screen. Wasn't that a fun activity? Now you have more insight into the types of things that teachers do to help you learn new vocabulary words. In this activity, we didn't necessarily need to use the names of the vocabulary items. but we did need to know a little bit more about them, such as whether you eat or drink them, and which ones you like. So, these 3 questions allowed us to dive a little bit more deeply into these new words. Now, before we leave, why don't we review one more time everything we learned today? Ima, food. Toka ima, is it food? Han, yes. Ua, no. Han o di ua, yes or no. Eka o di asa, eat or drink. Haralu, which. Buk eka, you eat. Haralu buk eka, which do you eat? Dak eka, I eat. As always, thank you so much for joining me here today to learn more about Taíno, this language that was our ancestors' language and which we thought was lost for more than 530 years. That is huge, and I know together we can bring back Taíno. I'd love for you to take a moment to check out all of the other resources we have at casareito.com. There you can see our children's books where kids can connect to Mother Nature and learn about the Taíno language and culture. You can also see other resources and take our online course. It uses the latest language learning software for you to learn about the Taíno language and about the culture of our ancestors. You can also sign up for our newsletter to stay in the know. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to see our latest postings. In the meantime, tay karaya, guaitiao na agu.